Yeah.
It's hard, and it
Yeah.
feels like an incurable disease.
man.
And it felt like everything I would do to fill that hole in my heart, it was like it would fill it for a moment,
Yeah.
and then the feeling would go away,
Never
and I was still
satisfied.
empty, and I didn't know. I have an encounter with Jesus. Now, growing up, I grew up in Georgia, so I'd heard of religion. But it felt like for the first time, this Jesus that encountered me, it wasn't this cage of rules, but it was like a relationship with him. Like, I get what you're saying when you say, like, if you love your children, you wouldn't want them to go to hell.
Yeah.
I totally understand that.
Yeah.
But I feel like what Jesus was saying was, he loves us enough to not control us to love him back, right? Like, if he forced everyone in Venice Beach to love him,
Yeah.
that wouldn't be love. He'd be like a dictator controlling us to love him, rather than giving us the option to love him.
Okay, so, but what if he doesn't make the option so apparent to some people as he does to others, or make it more conceivable?
Right.
So how is that fair to
Right.
everybody?
Romans 1 in the Bible says that God's divine nature and righteousness is displayed through all of creation, so that humanity can look to heaven and say there's got to be something greater. They can look at the ocean and say this is beautiful. The grass, creation, they say there must be something greater. And so Jesus says the prerequisite for heaven is just believing in him. That's it. Whereas like Hinduism, Buddhism, all these things, it's like you got to do good, you got to do good, you got to do good. And my appeal to Jesus was, I've tried so hard to stop my depression. If I can't stop my depression by working, then how can I work my way to an afterlife of perfection? And so
Right.
that's what appealed me to Jesus, because I was like, Jesus was perfect, and he died a death that you and I deserve living in this awful world. And so because he did that, if I just believe in him, I become perfect in him. And I know that sometimes, like when our time is ticking, it is easy to wonder what happens next and everything. But the beauty about Jesus is Jesus didn't die so that we get to heaven. Jesus died so that heaven can come live inside of us now. It's not that you have to work to be good. It's not that you have to work to leave this place better. But Jesus dying on the cross and resurrecting means that you can defeat death, but that relationship can come and live inside of you now and be with you now.